To the youth out there, I want you to know that you can be anything once you set your mind to it. Once you try, yes, it's going to be hard. There are times where you're going to feel like you are not doing enough. You may try, you may fail. But one thing about failure is basically room to improve. That's not the end of the world. Failing is not the end of the world. So try. If you fail, try again. Even if you fail 9 times, rise up 10 times.
Hi guys, you're welcome to Ayolo Media once again. Today we are in KSTU main campus and we are about to speak with one of the most important people in the school. He's a student and he goes with the name Lord Akum Yong. So let's get to him. And as you all know, my name is Ohene and I'm your host for this show. Senior, you are welcome to this show.
Thank you very much for the warm gesture. And also, I'd like to greet your audience.
So, we've heard so many things about you, and it's been a very long time, and we wanted to speak with you one-on-one. And by the grace of God, today everything has come to pass. We really thank God for this day. To start everything, we want to know your background, where you come from, who you are.
Okay. First things first, I hope all that you heard about me was good.
Oh yeah, it was a very good news. Yeah.
So quick background about me. As everybody knows already, I am Lord Akum Yong, popularly known as Financial Lord on campus. I was born in Kumasi, but I'm actually from Sandemanga region. Yeah. And I had my primary school education in Hilltop School, Dabai, and later completed my junior high school education at Joyce Standard, and moved on to St. Hubert Seminary for my secondary education. And I came to the grand campus of Kumasi Technical University, offered my diploma, completed, and I'm pursuing my top-up first degree in the field of accounting. So mainly I'm pursuing accounting with computing.
That's nice. That's a very nice thing. So we've heard that you've been occupying some positions in the school. Can you tell us some of the positions that you've held before, since from childhood up to date?
Okay, that's a very interesting story. So when people normally hear about me or get to know me, they have this feeling that, oh, this guy has been a leader from a young age. But truthfully speaking, leadership came to me very late in life. Okay. Yeah, I was always the shy guy with the ideas, like all the ideas, but in the shadows. So I always, chip in my views here and there to the authorities, and they always appreciate the efforts that I put into. So coming to, or should I say, my leadership really began in the campus of KSTU.
Okay.
So I came here, God being so good, I became department vice president. That was the department of Akasa. Then I moved from that and I became audit committee chairman for the business school. And currently I'm occupying a position outside campus, and I'm sure you've heard about it as well. I'm currently the acting national youth coordinator for the United Nations Youth Association.
That's a very big position that you are holding. So please, I want to ask, you're a student, right?
Yes.
So how do you collaborate, or how do you blend with those positions so that it doesn't affect your education as well?
Okay, so I do understand the sentiment in terms of responsibilities, because having a position is responsibilities on this one, and also your academic work is also a responsibility on this one. But at the end of the day, it comes down to two things. It comes down to comfort and also focus. So comfort in the sense that yes, you have your various responsibilities, but you need to find a way to attend to each one of them without it being an impediment onto the other. So yes, I do have my academic work, I do have the United Nations as well, and I also have other things I'm responsible for, which I'm not at liberty to mention currently. So I do have a schedule. I also believe very, very strongly that there is time for everything. Okay. So when it's time to do schoolwork, I'm doing schoolwork. When it's time to be with the United Nations, I'm with them. When it's time to handle my other responsibilities, I'm with them also. But as time goes on, you have some coming in cases of emergency or other special engagements. But you also have to find, the ability to maneuver around and make things better.
Okay, that's very nice. So as he said, when it's time for schoolwork, he goes and do the schoolwork, and also when it's time for the other activities, he does it as well. So please, if you're out there watching us, try your possible best to blend some things so that at the end of the day it's not going to affect you in your studies. Yeah, so you said you are the acting coordinator for the UNYA. Okay. So why UNYA?
Okay, so ever since I found purpose in leadership, I've always tried my possible best to, know or go down the rabbit hole to know the do's and the don'ts and like the origins of leadership, should I say. And anytime I do my research or anything, there's one association that is always mentioned when you put it like that, and that's the United Nations. So I've had this affinity towards the United Nations for quite some time. I was very privileged to actually join them a few years back and doing good work here and there. And with the position of National Youth Coordinator, it wasn't something that was planned.
Okay.
It was my hard work that got me there. So initially I didn't have it in mind that I was going for National Youth Coordinator. Yes. So just by doing good work and being recognized for it, I was offered the opportunity and I took it.
So it's not like someone sent you like, should I say, in Ghana we say that a protocol. It's who you know, and then the person will take you to someone that he knows, then the position will just come and land on.
This is not one of those instances. It's actually my work being recognized by the UNYA that actually got me the position.
Have you vied for any SRC position?
I have not vied for any SRC position on campus, but I have contested for department vice president, of which I won. I later went for department president, which I lost. Then the next one was faculty. I ran for business school president. That was last year.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I wasn't victorious in that as well. So I have the experience in terms of the ups and the downs, and I'm able to navigate my way through with what the world has for me next.
Okay. So are you a politician?
I like to consider myself so. Yeah.
And do you have a political party?
I'm affiliated. The NDC.
The NDC. I see. Then you are a proud NDC member.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's very nice. Yeah, I like your spirit, because there are some of the students out there who would not like to say out what and where they are affiliated to. Yeah. So you being the national coordinator for the UN in Ghana, so I want to ask that how do you handle conflict between youth groups with different political views?
Right. So with conflict, this is a very common scenario in terms of management and also coordinating. So obviously you would have disagreement between two factions, especially in the political space. But one of the go-tos that we normally do is we use dialogue. We get them together. We give them the opportunity in a very respectful manner to express their concerns, what they think makes them right, or what they think makes the other person wrong. So we listen to those, we sit them down, we find a way to resolve the issue amicably through them expressing their grievances. Because one of my biggest beliefs is that for us to make progress, there must be expression. So we must give them the avenue to express themselves. Then the dialogue and everything takes place. Then we find ways and means to resolve it.
Okay. So guys, if you are watching us, once again we are with one of the most important people in the school. He's called Lord Akum Yong. So as he has said everything about him, yes, so we want to continue and know more about him, and also the work that he is handling right now, how he goes about it. Yeah, so please, I want to know that how do you measure the impact of youth programs?
Okay, so and this is actually my fault. So it's a very nice question. So one of my duties as national youth coordinator is to actually manage the programs. I coordinate programs. I also ensure that the flagship programs are going on well as well. So with your question as to
how do you measure the impact of youth programs?
Yeah. So we're measuring impact here. One of the things we normally do is we have flagship programs and we also have partnerships with other organizations. So one thing is we have a pre-report and a post-report. So the pre-report basically tells us about the overview of what we want to do, the timeline we want to do it, and the ways and means we are to achieve that. Then the post is after we are done with everything. We have another report that shows us our progress, if we're able to achieve everything. And if there were some left behind, then we pick points from that, then we work on it the next time. So every time we are being measured by what we do in the reports. We also have very regular meetings of which we get to update ourselves on what's happening and also the way forward. So these two things are what we normally use to assess our impact.
Okay. So I want to ask, have you ever led a student or a youth initiative that has been successfully come out, or like that has been successful?
Okay, so initiatives, I would like to broaden it not just to youth, but like all I've done so far. So I believe last year I started a financial literacy campaign on campus under the auspices of the Financial Innovators Network. We made some very good partnerships. We didn't do a lot like as in how I was expecting, but the impact was there. We were able to organize a few programs. We handled things very well. And now, due to some personal, I would say, milestones of mine, I have actually taken the project out of the school and I made it a national project. So it's far beyond KSTU now. It's now a whole national project. So as time goes on, there will be annual events that I'll be hosting under the auspices of FI. And moving on. And secondly, another project, and this project is one of the oldest I've ever managed. It's actually a family foundation, which is a philanthropic in nature. And so, with a philanthropic side, we do some donations. We get to educate certain people on certain things of key interest. So we could, in terms of entrepreneurship, self-help, mental health and stuff like that. So we normally visit the children's homes, other places of interest, and we handle that side too. Then I think the third one I work on is diplomacy training. So currently, I'm not at liberty to mention, but I'm currently working on something of that nature, which will kickstart somewhere in 2 months' time. We are hoping for the best on that end as well.
So, how do you advocate for the youth priorities at the national policy level?
At the national policy level. So, first of all, we have the youth engagements. We get to engage the youth as to what they want to see change in society. We get to know that we create an initiative out of it to help them out. And we also attend national dialogues because we are fortunate to have a country where democracy is very prominent. In fact, one of the most vibrant democracies in Africa. So due to that, we've seen time and time again that the government has dialogues in terms of key issues. We attend, we also put in our inputs. We get to know the government's response and also find our way to also contribute to the development of the nation through that channel. And we also find other means to do things on our own by doing some community engagements, by also partnering with some ambassadors or some embassies, some high commissions, and also the government as well in some of our projects.
Looking at the way you are talking and explaining things to us, it looks as if you have a mentor, like you have a political mentor who is mentoring you. Do you have anyone like that?
Okay, so I wouldn't say I have mentors because everything that I've learned, I sort of learned them on my own. But I have people I look up to.
Okay.
So for my political inspiration, I'll say people like Barack Obama, the late John Evans Fifi Atamos of blessed memory, John Dramani Mahama, our current president as well. He's in fact my biggest inspiration. Looking from where he came from, building up to the top where he is now. It's an inspiration to myself, and it shows me that I can be anything once I set my mind to it. We have other personalities like Barack Obama, of whom I actually picked my mantra from him.
Okay.
That's the audacity of hope.
I see.
So where audacity of hope to me is basically no matter how many times you fall, you're still hopeful that you can make something out of those down moments and get to the top. Yeah, so with all these inspirations, I feel like they are not mentors in the sense that they are with me one-on-one, but I see their work and try to incorporate it in my life to make sure that I'm also progressive in the field. Let me put it up.
So, Mr. Lord, I want to ask, who are the people that you feel like they have been a blessing to you in your life, and you really thank God for meeting them?
So, first of all, I'd like to broaden the scope. First of all, my mom, yeah, she has been the biggest blessing, always advising me, always checking up on me, at least 2 to 3 times a day. I'm on the phone with her. Then my family, obviously. Then on campus, I've met quite a few personalities that are Selassie, we have Awambila Enoch, we have Barrister Samuels, let's see. Okay, so on the outside space, I like to call her my godmother, Mrs. Baden, Madam Grace. Then one of the people I actually look up to is the Deputy Education Minister, that's Honourable Clementa Park. Okay. Then moving on, the names are so many. So I like to leave it at that.
So the names are so many. So please, if he couldn't mention your name, don't attack him. Yes. Yeah. As he was mentioning the names, I can see that everybody in his life has been a blessing to him. So one last message for the youth out there.
Alright. So for the youth, then let me move directly into the camera for this one. So to the youth out there, I want you to know that you can be anything once you set your mind to it. Once you try, yes, it's going to be hard. There are times where you're going to feel like you are not doing enough. You may try, you may fail. But one thing about failure is basically room to improve. That's not the end of the world. Failing is not the end of the world. So try. If you fail, try again. Even if you fail 9 times, rise up 10 times and still do it. But you don't know. Out of your failures, something good might happen out of it. So my message to you guys is be perseverant, be resilient, and also be focused. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lord. Yeah, so as you all know, we spoke with the national coordinator for the UN. Yeah, he is a very, very, very important person, and also he has been a blessing in my life as well. Yeah, so I really look up to him in some certain ways, and also we talk a lot, and he really do inspire me sometimes. Yeah, should I say sometimes? Like it's like always, he really he inspires me a lot. Yeah, so guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and tell others about Ayolo Media. We are out.